Rob Fishburne.
No, he's supposed
Local
to say
neighbour.
one.
You gotta say
It's
number
supposed
one.
to
Oh, sorry. Start again.
Beautiful work.
No, keep going. Just
Keep
go.
going,
Number
keep going,
one.
Keep going.
Rob Fishburne.
Number 2.
Number 3.
4.
5.
6.
And then back to
oh,
me.
there we go.
Alright, so I'm John. I'm going to be telling you about my own personal hero, Ronald Reagan. The primary reason I chose him is he was a man who did a lot in his life. He was president, he was a governor, he was an actor, he did a lot of volunteer work as a child, and the one thing that made him a true hero and an American patriot was this. Bedtime for bongos. A true patriot. Now, Reagan growing up did grow in a house with an alcoholic father, which is something no kid could really get by easily. Just seeing a drunk father at home 24/7. But later on, Reagan did do a lot of volunteer work with his mother at homeless shelters and at different prisons, just giving help to whoever needed it. Later, however, he did go to college, studied some acting, studied some politics. I believe it was actually, I can't remember which college he went to exactly. He did a lot of football, and then later on moved into California. While he was in California, he became one of the heads of SAG, the Screen Actors Guild. Terrible acronym, by the way. A lot of jokes. Anyway, after he became a member of SAG, he did a lot of great things. He actually, ironically enough, moved his political stance from Democratic to Republican after moving to California, which is a strange thing because normally you'd think it'd be the other way around. However, when he became the governor of California, he did do a lot of great things even before the presidency. For one, he did enact new divorce laws, because before that, divorce was essentially a one-way street. Domestic abuse was not essentially a stand to take for it, and both parties had to be in the courthouse in order to get the divorce finalized. So a woman could walk into a courthouse saying, "My husband's beating me, I want a divorce," and nothing would happen. Reagan enacted a law to where a woman or a man could do this, which actually dropped suicide rates in women by over 20%. Later on, Reagan went on to go into the White House as president. What else would he be? While he was the president, though, a lot of new things did happen. While Reagan was president, he was actually shot, I believe, halfway during his first term. And even after being shot, he still managed to get into the White House again within, I believe, a month, which is an impressive feat on its own, considering he was shot and not a lot of people get over that super quickly. Not to mention, while Reagan was in the White House, he did a lot of great things to stimulate the economy and help our military. For one, he did a lot of tax cuts, which helped a lot of businesses develop and also increase stock market prices and just increase the general economy overall. And he also increased our military power by a lot, giving us one of the most powerful militaries in the world to this day. Now, also during Reagan's second term, after being elected again, he did happen to end the Cold War with the Soviets, which is an impressive feat considering so many presidents before him weren't able to do that. And the Russians weren't exactly friendly to us either during the Cold War. Because, you know, McCarthy, communism, hunts, and lynching, and all that other fun stuff. But anyway, during this he managed to sign a treaty with Gorbachev, I can never pronounce his name. Gorbachev, thank you. Russian, fun. With Gorbachev, ending the Cold War. And I probably just mispronounced it again. Anyway, continuing into his term, though, he still did more great things, increasing our military and stimulating our economy. And even after he ended his presidency, he still went on to do good things. He did a lot of charity work, and not to mention, even after he left office, he went to the Berlin Wall and actually started breaking down the wall with the people, which is a pretty symbolic thing to do and a just awesome thing to do in general. Tearing down a not metaphorical, but literal wall splitting an entire country and almost a world together. Families weren't able to see each other before that point, unless they completely snuck into one side. However, later into his life, Reagan did actually admit to developing Alzheimer's after he was done in the White House. He suffered through this until his death, and he actually died as one of the oldest presidents that we have had until 2006, where I can't remember the president's name who died, but they died a little bit later. Nancy Reagan, though, his wife, did continue on and keep his legacy going, which is awesome in my opinion. And Reagan was just awesome in that way. He was able to stimulate the economy. Ooh. He helped out a lot of people during his time. Oh, quit your giggling.